Today is April 26th. The Yankees had a nice off day after the sweep, and they're about to start a 3-game set against the Baltimore Orioles. We're going to talk about the bullpen, the strength of schedule, the blowouts, just about the Yanks in general, because that's what the whole damn show's about.
Talking Yanks with old John Boy Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, theme, and hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin' Yanks. Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake. Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks, brought to you by SeatGeek. My name is Jimmy. Sitting next to me is Jake, and in the corner behind the desk we have producer BBD. Speaking of SeatGeeks, you can use code YANKS for $20 off your first order using the SeatGeek app or the website. Download the app, go to the website. You can I was looking at it today. I was looking at tickets for Thursday, and I saw the bubbles. I saw yellow, decent deal. Red, not the best deal. Green, this is worth your money. For the seat you're getting and the price point you're getting it for, this is good. It's a very simple way to shop for tickets. They make it easy, and they are the sponsors of the show. So they're hooking you guys up. If you use code YANKS, you can get $20 off your first purchase with the promo code YANKS. Make sure to click the link in the description to download the app. That's code YANKS. Jake, BBD labeled this, vibes are good on a Tuesday. Do you agree?
I'm in the dumps. Jim, BBD, we are two transplanted Yankee fans here to talk Yanks with you guys. No, not anymore. Yeah, man. Things are good. We swept. We swept a good Cleveland Guardians team. We had another Monday night off. I think next Monday we don't, and then there is another one. So the Monday night offs are a thing as long as, knock on wood, we haven't had any rainouts or anything like that yet. So, no, man, we're good. I mean, we even bullpen, which I know we're going to be talking about this episode, obviously with an off day it resets, but it kind of reset the day before that because of a blowout win, which we might talk about. And, Jim, we talk about heartstrings with some of these Yankee players. A Yankee guy that gets forgotten about a lot is back on the Yankees. Miguel Andujar got the call today because Hicksy goes on the paternity list. Oh, he'll always have a little piece of my heart. I mean, what were we doing back in 2018? Transplanted Yankee fans, right? So excited to see if he gets a little bit of run, and congrats to Hicksy with one on the way.
That is exciting for Hicksy.
Yeah.
And Andujar, he's been tearing it up in AAA. I don't know where he's going to have in the field. I don't share the special feelings with him that you have because it's just kind of been frustrating it's been a long time. 19, 20, 21. Yeah, it's been a long time since those feelings. So,
long time.
But I'm excited to see what he's going to do. He's get a couple. They might not even start him, which is, I'm kind of rooting for that. So, to keep the regulars out there.
You don't have any of the heartstrings with Andujar at all?
No, he doesn't tickle a bone for me.
I mean, he was out same length as Sevy, obviously different roles on the team, but
I don't know why I can't.
Okay.
Sevy had 2017.
Right. It
Yeah.
goes back further, but the gap that you originally mentioned.
Yeah, but I mean, 2017 Sevy was awesome.
Okay. So is 2018 due?
Boy, he got replaced for every CC start. He couldn't play defense, stuff like that. So it was like half and half. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Before we get into sharp stats and before we get into the bullpen stuff and the fun talks, we kind of wanted to just have a little we come off an off day, we're even keeled or vibes are good, a little debrief.
Yeah.
We're almost to the first month of the season. We've been on the roller coaster ride already, had a pretty wild down. But at this point, I mean, how do you feel? I feel decent. We spend the whole offseason wondering, did they make the changes? Do we like the changes? Did they do enough? Did they not do enough? And what's this team going to look like? Do you feel like at this point we have a sense of what the team is?
No. No, it's so early. I mean, you say first month of the season, but we also started late, with the extended spring training. I think there's two things that we circle. It's the guy we just mentioned, Luis Severino. What is he going to look like throughout this full year? We have enjoyed it. He battled through his Detroit start, even though he didn't have his grade A stuff, and he still gave a killer start. And the other one, I guess that's my biggest, strongest, best takeaways. The two biggest pivot points of this Yankee season, DJ LeMahieu, Luis Severino, they seem back. And that's either our leadoff hitter or like our unique hitter in the lineup, and a guy that, if he's right, could be one of the best number 2 starters in baseball, previously our 1.
Yeah. As of right now, those things linger pretty good for me, and that is overriding some frustrations with lineup construction, with rest usage, and frustrations with runners in scoring position. Because so far, the good things have been, DJ has been a positive, Sevy's been a positive, Rizzo has showed me, that I think he's going to be really, really useful on both, not useful, it's kind of an odd term, but really beneficial and good on both sides of the ball. Donaldson still need to see more, obviously kind of a tougher start for him. Kiner, we've been half and half, 2 weeks of really bad, 2 weeks of really good. So I'm still putting that in the waiting and see. But Savvy, DJ, and Rizzo, those three, and then the pitching being top 3, being the best ERA in the American League. And that's what it was last year, and it was that a fluke last year, was it not? It doesn't seem like a fluke. There's some changes, and then the depth of the bullpen is crazy to me. Like, I've liked the way Litke looks. I've liked the way Castro has looked. And those are pretty deep into our pen.
Right. No, the pitching as a whole. Last year, people outside of Yankees land, when we talk to them, they still think Bronx Bombers and Yankees and Big Aaron Judge and Stanton, and good. I'm glad they do. Even, heck, DJ, the 2 previous years before last year. You think of the Yankees, you think of hitting. We do the all-time Yankee teams, and we go through the hitters. And then you go through the pitchers, and you're like, oh, this has been a hitting franchise, huh? The pitching last year was so strong, and we wondered if Nestor was fluky. Tyone had 2 different halves of his season. Monty is Monty, and Sevy, just for this full year, was a question mark. And that's even before getting to the bullpen, and everything has been lights out. And, we're lucky enough that we cover around the league in baseball, too. And when you talk about some of the coaching staffs, we think about how the Rays and their pitchers, we think about Cleveland, the Guardians who just came in, they've been a pitching factory. The Dodgers, obviously. The Yankees pitching, when you start combining the last 2 years, it feels impactful. The last Yankees playoff series that we've gone into, full playoff series, not the 1-game wild card with an injured Cole last year, there's been talks about who's going to be the 2 starter. There's the Davey Happ game from years past. Like, right now, between Sevy, Monty, Tyone, Nestor, all of those guys have an argument to be as good of a 2-starter as we've had going into the playoffs. And now we've still got 5 months to sort stuff out, but with that, having that, any issues on offense as this goes on, whether it's Gallo and how that whole situation sorts out, Donaldson, however the infield plays out, those are a lot easier to solve. If the trade deadline comes up and we need another bat to hit 7th, that's a lot easier to find than a number 2 starter. So that's where I think Yankees fans have some serious glimmer in their eye for this season.
I agree. I think to be good at pitching is better than to be good at hitting in MLB. And that's not really an original thought or a really smart thought. It's just kind of the way it is.
Right.
So I'm excited. I like the Castro trade a lot. So far it's been good. And he doesn't even need to get big outs. He's gotten big outs. But even if he's getting those games where we're down 2, but we want to keep the offense, hope the offense can get us back in it. Or we're down 4, and we don't want to burn the big guys.
Right.
To have that is a privilege. So I'm excited. So going to Baltimore, we can very much come out of this with another Baltimore losing series, and I will be right back to miserable. But as I sit here, there's a lot of stuff I like, especially DJ Sevy, Rizzo, and then Donaldson, Gallo, Kiner are still, and Kiner's a different level than the other two because he has really been good the last 2 weeks. But those three are still, like, I like to see the second month. And
I guess that's why I think you guys know I've normally got my optimist pants on. I just know the ride of this baseball season hasn't even started. Like, when I saw Andujar was getting the call yesterday, it was one of that first time you're like, oh, okay, so who's hurt or what's happening? And when you found out it was Hicks paternity leave, it's like, oh, okay, good. So yeah, man, I mean, there's still going to be massive, whether it's injuries or slumps or stuff that affect this season, and that's going to there's going to be opportunities and different young guys that get chances that it's who knows? Like, how does this Mike King story end? You know, like right now it's this special dominant bullpen performance. If there's a couple starting pitcher injuries, does the story move there? Does it not? Like, that's where those books that you read that have the go to page 44 if you want to see what's in the cave, or go to page 68 if you want to open up the door and turn around. Like, we haven't even started that yet.
You like those books?
I did.
Choose Your Own Adventure books, that's what they're called?
I mean, I'm not a big book guy, but I was the kind of guy that would just keep flipping pages and
just figuring out. They tried to turn those into TV shows recently, and then people were like, no, this doesn't work.
Yeah, it's too interactive.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I just want to sit on the
you
couch.
tell me the story.
Yeah. Well, dude, they also screwed up with those because they made you end up going back.
I never watched them. I just heard
it was
that's
bad.
What it was.
Because, like, it
was like a loop. Like, you'd end up there anyway.
Like, you'd pick one or the other, and it'd be like, oh, nope, that doesn't work. Go back. And you're like, well, then I'm not picking my own story. You're still showing me a story.
Yeah, it doesn't work. You want to do the Sharp Stats call?
I could do that.
Brought to you by the Tops.
Oh, it's the Tops, man.
It's the Tops.
I love Sharp Stats.
Tops is hosting a 3-day virtual event this Friday, April 29th through Sunday, May 1st, called Tops DigiCon 2022. The free event will be held on their Tops Digicast Twitch channel and will feature special guests, live interviews, artist drawing sessions, giveaways, and more. Daily programming will run from 11:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. The event celebrates fandoms across sports and entertainment and puts a spotlight on Topps' growing community of collectors who play their digital collectible apps like Topps Bunt and partake in Topps NFT content releases. Those looking to participate in the event are encouraged to check out the Topps Bunt app, where event VIP insider passes will be offered that unlock special rewards, in-app surprises, and exclusive content access. Download the Topps Bunt app. Download Topps Bunt to get your Bunt Insider Pass now, and be sure to tune in to DigiCon 2022, kicking off at 11:30 a.m. Eastern on Friday, April 29th, twitch.tv/Topps Digicast.
Friday.
Topps
Digicast. See you there.
Hey guys, it's the one and only Queen of Stats. And this week, I want to talk about the bullpen. Yes, the bullpen has been fantastic, and they've been saving the Yankees' butts lately. But I'm a little worried because of all the stress and the pressure that they've been facing this season, and I'm a little worried that it might not be sustainable for the rest of the season. So what I wanted to do was to put into context just how much pressure the Yankees' bullpen has been facing this season. And to start off, I looked at a concept called the leverage index. You guys can find this on Baseball Reference and Fangraphs. And what it does is it basically tries to quantify the amount of pressure that a batter or a pitcher faces in each plate appearance based on the win probability of that situation. So when I looked at the Yankees, when I looked at all bullpens, all relief appearances across Major League Baseball, the Yankees lead the majors in average leverage index. So that means that they face the highest pressure situations of any bullpen in the entire majors. They also are tied for the second most appearances with a high leverage plate appearances. So that means that, you know, they're facing tied for the second most high leverage appearances. Then the third thing that I looked at is situations in which the tying or the go-ahead run was either on base, on deck, or at the plate. The Yankees far and away have the most plate appearances by their bullpen of any bullpen in the major leagues this season, and the difference is not even close. And then finally, what I looked at is situations in which the bullpen is inheriting runners. So that's another high stress situation. And the Yankees have inherited the second most runners in the majors this season. The good news there is that they strand a lot of those runners that they inherit. But, I don't think this is a situation that is entirely sustainable for the rest of the season. So yes, the bullpen has been fantastic so far, but I'm really going to be worried if this trend continues.
Thank you to the queen of stats.
Thanks, Katie.
Katie Sharp. All right, Jake, we're talking bullpen, Yankees bullpen, their usage and when they're getting used. This formula, the result of the formula makes sense because what the Yankees have been doing, pulling their starters way early, who are doing a really good job keeping the runs limited against them, and then trying to keep the game stable for an offense that's scoring no runs. So starter has been at 68 pitches and a runner gets on, well, we're going to the pen. They inherit a runner. It's probably a 1-0, 0-0, 2-0 game, and now you're in high leverage, fifth inning for the rest of the game because the offense has done nothing. It's not sustainable. I do think it's a big credit that they're the number one of the top bullpens in baseball while leading in all of this. They're not getting easy innings or easy spots. They've inherited the second most runners in MLB and still have one of the best bullpen ERAs and all of that, which doesn't always land on them, but relievers are inheriting other relievers' runners as well. So,
yeah, and that's early on in the season. That's a little bit of a double-edged sword because if the Yankees had a couple more blowout wins, maybe they wouldn't be going to their best relievers, and then those reliever stats wouldn't be as good. But this bullpen's awesome, man. Like you said, that Castro trade currently looks like a fleece because, again, that looks like a guy that can give you a wipeout eighth inning on any given day, where Joely, even at his best, he wasn't that guy. He was a guy that if there was a lefty bat out, some of the best lefties in the league, Devers, Ohtani, he could attack there. But that next guy on deck, whether it's a Trout or Bogarts, they were going to get him. Castro has the stuff on any given day to get any given hitter out. And, man, that's what this team is right now. I mean, between Clay Holmes, Johnny Lasagna, Chad Green, even though he's struggling early on this year, Miguel Castro, I won't even include Wandy right now, who I love, but you've got four guys there on any given day can be your eighth inning man. So as this season goes on and the starting pitchers start to get built up, you don't want to be playing the tightrope act every night of saying, all right, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're up 1 or 2 runs. Because then it goes to the conversation we've had the last couple years. If you rely on that bullpen too much, if one of those guys has a bad day, now you're having a bad series. You just burnt those bullpen guys. You lost the game. And now you're finding yourself, you're putting a guy who, by the way, these guys have been incredible for us. So Wandy Peralta or Lucas Licky, it's that ripple effect of baseball that the next game you might have them in a spot that wasn't ideal for them. And now you're not putting your guys in advantageous spots. So like Katie's call and like you said, you just can't constantly be doing that tightrope act. But the positive spin is they can. Like if there's currently a team in baseball that can do it, especially with the addition of Mike King and what that can do to reset the bullpen, they are set up down there, man.
Yeah, they needed some blowout wins.
Yeah.
That's what they need. That was a problem last year, problem this year. But it's deep. But I still even think like Marinaccio, he probably got a high leverage at one point. And I think Sears also got high leverage. So they were still using guys. I will say since Cole's start, so the last 5 starts, every starter has gone 5 innings or more. The last time through. Yep. The last time through, each starter went 5 innings or more. Tyone went 5, and I think Monty went 5. I think Sevy went 5. Let's see. Tyone went 5.
Sevy went 5.
Monty went 6. Tyone went 5. Nestor went 6.1. Cole went 6.2. And Sevy went 5. And we got some lighter bullpen usage, especially this last series because it ends in a blowout. And they still use Wandy. Game before that was the comeback and was close, but then King ate up 3 after Tyone. So it's been better, but they definitely need blowouts. Last year in 2021, they had 14 wins of 6 runs or more. And some of the 6 runs happened later. In 2019, they had 23 wins of 6 runs or more. And last year, they did not spread them out. Like 2 of them were back-to-back. And we had stretches of just close game after close game after close game that wore out the bullpen.
Jim, you know I'm a big Nat King Cole guy.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a quiet moment at the office, I go put on some Nat King Cole. What songs, you ask?
What songs?
Unforgettable, Nature Boy, Love.
L is for the way you look.
Garrett Cole.
Yeah.
He's a guy that can reset your bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the aces of baseball. Like we saw his last, against the Guardians, he went 6.2, probably could have gone 7. That, with the depth of the Yankees bullpen, can reset your bullpen. King. Nat King Cole, Jim.
Mm-hmm.
Mike King, with his multi-inning versatility, he's a guy that can also reset your bullpen. And that doesn't even include, like we said, this whole rotation. Nestor, Tyone, Monty gave us 6 the other day. Like, if you can get a big Cole start, a big King relief appearance, or another start by Nestor, Tyone, Monty, Sevy, whoever, and you reset that bullpen, you stay ahead of the game. You know, how often do we look at, or we look at the first game of series, and if you can wear out the first week of the season, we kind of wore out Boston's bullpen. Like, if you can do that, that's how you get momentum and winning streaks and staying ahead of the opponents where you don't. There were times last year where the Yankees were on the other side of that, and it was like, we'd do the pregame show, and we'd look at the pitching path to victory, and we'd say, welp, how are we going to get it to Chappie today? Johnny just pitched back-to-back. Chad's worn out. Britton's out. Like, and then if your starter can only give you 4.1 that day, now you've got 3 to 4 innings of baseball where you're using not your guys, not those guys we just bragged about, and you're setting up your team for failure. So if we can have those reset days once a week, whether it's Cole, whether it's King, whether it's one of the other guys, that's what allows winning streaks and having your best guys available. And, you know, outside of that one really nice win streak last season where the Yankees were using speed and pitching and it was beautiful, that's how we can make that a regular thing this year.
Beautiful.
Nat King Cole.
Nat King Cole. Have you ever, I don't know if I'm deja vu, have you ever looked at Bill James's game score for starting pitchers before? Have we done this before?
So, not really. Maybe we have, but I'm not a game score guy.
I never, unless I saw this and did this once and forgot about it, this seemingly is my first time reading it.
It recently got brought up on Chris Rowe's rotation.
Giolito referenced it last week.
And it was an eye-opening moment for me. Lucas Giolito, the ace of the Chicago White Sox, they were talking about Kershaw getting pulled when he had his perfect game and he wasn't stretched out the first week of the season. And, Chris Rose was teeing it up perfectly. Obviously, it's Chris Rose. And he's like, Lucas, what do you think of the whole thing? Blah, blah, blah. And by the way, Chris Rose actually like pinned him pretty good. He's like, even though Kershaw only had one spring training sim start, wasn't against other opposition, and Giolito heard that and was like, yeah, maybe I would have pulled him. But he didn't actually say that. But one of the first things out of Lucas Giolito's mouth was like, Kershaw had a chance for one of the best game scores ever. And I'm familiar with game score. It's usually from my nerdy out-of-the-park baseball game. I didn't know there were starting pitchers that like use that as a unit of measurement, because I think the highest game score ever is Kerry Wood's.
Dean Chance.
Isn't Kerry Wood, or maybe it's modern history is Kerry Wood's
1964's Dean Chance.
Dean Chance out of here.
Hold on.
Kerry Wood, I'm assuming.
In a 9, so that was an extra inning game. So in a 9-inning game, the best score is Kerry Wood.
Gotcha.
I'm reading it now. I don't love the formula
Yeah.
for because strikeouts. I don't care about that.
It loves the strikeout.
It does love the strikeout.
Yeah, I might just erase. I might erase that. So subtract 4 for each earned run allowed. -4 for. So this is what it is. If no one knows what this is, you take a starting pitcher, you start him at 50 points, +1 for each out. So 3. If you go, 3 points per inning. Really, if you pitch 1 inning, you get 3 points.
Right.
3 points. Blah blah blah.
Just on outs.
+2 for each inning after the 4th inning. So if you complete the 5th inning, you get the 3 for the out, but then you get 2 more for completing the 5th and 6th and 7th. So then +1 for each strikeout. If I was to do my formula, I don't care about that.
Right.
So I would take that out. -2 for each hit you give up. I would just do -1 for walk. I don't know if they have that in there, but that's what if you're going to do the strikeout.
The penalty for a walk allowed was doubled from -1 to -2 to be in line with the penalty for a non-homer hit, single, double, triple.
Oh, okay.
This is the whole thing. Starts with 50 points.
Yeah.
Tom Tango's got his version. So
I'm going to make my version. Subtract 2 points for each
John.
hit allowed. Subtract 4 points for each earned run, and 2 points for each unearned run allowed, and 1 for walk is the original. So anyway, I was looking at the Yankees game logs, and they all have above average game score, besides Sevy, who was average
Right.
against the Tigers.
Because he gave up a lot of hits. He was battling that day.
Yeah. But didn't he give up no runs?
No, I think he gave up a couple, right?
1 or 2.
Let's see. Lee Severino. I'm on JP Sears' stat page. That's
1 earned
nice.
run. 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run.
7 hits. But only like 1 walk, right?
So isn't Tyone's start very similar to his?
Tyone's start was 5 innings pitched, 7 hits, 1 earned run, 5 Ks.
Oh, so there's your K's walks separator, I think.
And Tyone got, well, it was right, he got 54, Sevy got 50.
So that makes same ballpark.
I'm creating my own game score
Hello.
because Sevy should be higher. That outing by Sevy, 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run, is not an average start in MLB right now. So that's just kind of just a flawed score.
Right.
All right, anyway.
Okay.
What I went to this page to see the pitch count, and they don't have it on this page, or they do. And, well, that's what I went to see because they're still not emptying the tank. They're still not going all the way out, and we got 5 innings or more from every starter last time through. So if they can, and they've been good, so if they can build on that and the Yankees allow them to get that 6th inning, like Sevy next time should be able to get the 6th inning if he can, and everyone else, that'll help with this equation as well. And I think right now that will happen. I think if the pitchers continue to be good, they'll let them get that next inning. I think it's been mostly pitch count, not situation.
Yeah, it's it becomes a little chicken and the eggy, right? Because kind of what we're saying about bullpen and blowouts and all that stuff. If Monty, Tyone, Nestor are coming up on the 6th inning and it's a 1 or 2 run game and they're at their 85th, 90th pitch, it's going to be tough for Aaron Boone, Matt Blake, whoever's pulling the trigger to say, am I going to let a 93rd pitch from Jamison Tyone decide this game? Or am I going to let a fresh Miguel Castro, Mike King, Clay Holmes, that just becomes a really tricky yet good conversation as of now because that bullpen's really good. And there's more egg on your face if you're Aaron Boone or whoever's making the pitching decisions. If you leave in Monty Tyone Nestor for that 95th pitch instead of going to Miguel Castro or Chad Green, Laza, Holmes.
It's true. But, I mean, this is a way to save the bullpen. If
Right.
those guys are taxed.
Well, that's where it all ties together, right? Like, if those guys are worn out, then Boone kind of has to give the starting pitcher the opportunity. If these guys are fresh, he doesn't. So it's, I don't know. There's a little wavy thing going on with my hands right now.
I mean, we had Brooks Kriske saving games for us last year.
Ooh, Albert Abreu. I guess, and I guess when you say something like that, that's where there's still a part of me that's like, this season hasn't fully kicked into gear, right? Because those moments happen every season, you know?
I don't think you
Maybe
have a
they
Brooks
don't.
Kriske saving games for you every season.
Albert Abreu.
I mean, Brooks Kriske's first appearance was in April in a 3-run game in the 9th, but they were losing.
Right.
Then it was July.
The extra inning game.
That was in July when they started bringing him in close games. All the way, and then it did it in September, too. Nuts.
Yep.
So, the depth is better. I guess that's the bullpen talk. Blowout wins.
Seemed like it.
Need more blowout wins.
Yeah.
Hopefully the offense heats up.
They
By a
will.
lot. You think they will? I was talking to Lucas today. Not my brother. And I
Lucas
told him
D.
that I do think so. Like, I think slowly, one at a time, like, it's not going to be dead offense.
Stanton hasn't hit. We all think he's going to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Donaldson truly hasn't hit. Not shots fired. We like Josh Donaldson, but
He'd
he
be the
has
first to
not
tell
hit.
you. He hasn't hit.
He'd be the first to tell you unless he's at Judge's birthday party, tearing it up. That's pretty fun, huh? Rocking the silver hair. The Joey Gallo story. How does that? What are the next chapters of that book, or is it the same chapter? The Gleyber Torres question. How does that factor into the season? And then I guess you put IKF in the same bucket. Is it going to be a hot cold season for him? Has something fully clicked and he is the next Geo type? That would be pretty cool. We never let our brains fully go down that avenue, but that'd be pretty badass. So yeah, there's still a lot of questions about the Yankees lineup, but it goes back like DJ Judge Rizzo. If that's our base, then give me two other guys that are feeling it, whether it's a Hicks or IKF or Joey or whoever. Like, yeah.
Do you want to move on to guess the lineup then?
You want a GTL?
I do. I'll make a.
Are you going to make a bet?
You read the ad.
I'm going to read the ad. Let's make a bet together.
It's 5-leg parlays for me only.
Ooh, it's a five fingertips. Jim, my mic, DraftKings, and DraftKings baseball
my
fans probably know my mic.
Yeah.
And I turned to the audience. I said, my mic. Sorry. Haven't been on stage in a while. DraftKings, they're an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Huge. New customers can bet $5 on any team to win. You get $200 in free bets if they do. You can play their daily DraftKings fantasy contest. They still got that going on, giving away thousands in free prizes. Interested. Love that it's safe, secure, and reliable. Really like that. Jim's going to place his 5-leg parlay right now. I might place a little cheddar too. Why not? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code JOHNBOY. Bet just $5 and win $200 in free bets if your team wins their game. That's promo code JOHNBOY at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. 21 plus. Restrictions apply. MLB trademarks used with permission. See show notes for details. Did you place that 5-legger yet?
Not yet. I'm bringing it up. I was seeing who they're facing tonight. Jordan Lyles.
Coming off a good start for him.
Jordan Lyles.
Those birds been throwing it all right recently. Happy for them.
2 good starts. Yeah, their bullpen is actually the second best bullpen in MLB, like right behind the Yankees. And all the peripherals, I was just reading, Fangraphs just wrote an article about it, all look like decent. They were ranked 28th, but they're all, it's so far that hasn't been fluky. It's been warranted.
Happy for them. They traded away 2 of their best bullpen options before the season.
Maybe they knew they weren't.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It could be good GM stuff, or like we do in every baseball season, we could look back and say, aha.
So what do you think the lineup's going to be? And then who do you think is going to get hits?
Who do I think is going to get hits today? I think Aaron Judge. I just placed a single game parlay. Yankees to win and Aaron Judge to get a hit. Bang. Free money.
That's easy.
Whoops.
It's a little too free. I think Stan's going to get a hit. I think he's going to come out of it.
He's got to get going, right?
He crushes Lyles. I think he's going to get out of it. Yeah, I do.
Okay, so we're coming off an off day. No Aaron Hicks. He's having a baby. So that's the wild card. You'd assume they'd go Towers after the off day. Gets tricky, right? And they gave Stanton the day off coming into the off day, right? So he's a lock.
That's true.
He's got to be a lock.
Lock to be in.
If he's not, then it's kind of scary mode. But I think he's fine. I think he's the perfect example of they wanted to give him a double rest day. I'll go.
They're not giving him a double rest day to do right field today.
DJ, Judge, Rizzo, Stanton, right?
DJ, Judge, Rizzo, Stanton. Do you have Judge in center? Towers?
I got to fill out the 9 guys first.
Okay. Donaldson.
Yeah, I think he'll be in there. Hits really good off Lyles. Got hit off him last time. And without Hicks, I think he'll go behind Stanton with Rizzo breaking up the righties. Then you could do back-to-back righties there.
Okay.
We've done that. Then Gallo. Then Gallo after Donaldson.
Glaber.
And then, I guess Glaber. Do we have too many in the infield now? Then Kiner. And then
Catcher du jour.
Higgy. Who's been catching Sevy? Trevino caught 3 of the last 4.
Higgy looked a little lost last time we saw him, but he also got the double off day. I'll go Higgy.
I think he got a hit against Lyles in Baltimore, too.
I'll go Higgy.
I just want to see, has Sevy had multiple different catchers? Have they done... So Higgy caught Sevy first, and then in Sevy's second start, it was Trevino, and then in Sevy's... I'm going backwards order. It was Higgy, Trevino, Higgy. So there's a pattern.
Potential.
I was going to go Higgy as well. I'm not sure why. Do we have... Well, Cole's not pitching this series, right?
Yeah, I think double reset day for Higgy. I think you could put him in the same boat.
Then you go Trevino tomorrow and then Higgy the day after the night.
Can. Either works. Catcher, we still don't have the pulse on.
Or you go Higgy, Trevino.
Right. Catcher, we still don't have the pulse on. I'm going Higgy for tonight's game.
Yeah, I felt that too. I don't know why.
Okay.
So I think that's the lineup.
So the question would be is, do you DH... With that lineup, you DH DJ or Donaldson?
Donaldson.
Okay.
But I don't really know.
They've now done a DJ DH day, so worth considering.
Donaldson,
I would guess
Donaldson DH Sunday, had yesterday off.
Partied with Judge. He's a little older, maybe a little hangover going on. I'll go DH DJ. Just because it rolled off the tongue well. Not that I necessarily believe in it.
Okay. I mean, that would be a lineup they've done it with Trevino. Let's see, have they done this lineup with Higgy? Because we have Hicks out.
No Hicks.
Have they repeated a lineup yet? No. So if they go that line, well, if they go DJ, DH, and Trevino catching,
Right.
that would be the first time they've repeated a lineup all year. If they go Higgy catching, then we're getting a new lineup.
So Higgy. Locked.
So Higgy, because they have to do a
see
new
what it's
lineup.
like.
I will say this.
I kind of want Trevino now just to get two
In a
lineups.
copy
The
lineup.
first time they've had the same lineup.
I do have to prep ourselves a little more. We do have to be prepared that they're treating Baltimore like a different team. Tim Locastro, the last time we saw him, he hit a home run.
Gives Gallo the day off.
Miguel Andujar just got called up, and they're probably hoping to display him.
Is there a chance of them trying to do an
Do that after you win the first two. But you're right. We should prep ourselves.
I would just be prepped for it.
Is there a world where it's like Andujar left field day, get Gallo a day in right where he's been more comfortable
Playing
in his
Andujar in left,
career
but not
and-
Judge is so funny.
Yeah.
Have fun out there, kid.
I believe in the minors, Andujar's done same amount of time at third and left, so
They're still playing him at
Two.
third in the minors?
he's played 5 games. I was looking at it last night when he got called up because
Holy cow.
I was interested because he's up now. 5 games at third, 2 errors. 5 games in left as well. It's 5, and 2 DH days.
I'm starting to think he's not a third baseman.
Not a left fielder either, though.
He could.
You can hide him out
I feel
there.
like he has a chance to learn it.
Yeah, like there's
Yeah, I agree.
Kyle
this point- at this
Schwarber's
point,
and
go
Nick
all in.
Castellanos is like
Ryan Braun did it.
you can find a way out there. He can't find a way at third base. So I don't know. I'm ready for funny business, like you said and I said a couple weeks ago. Let's get 2, and then give me the Thursday game with Marwin and Andujar and Tilo. I'd be fine. I'd be besmirched by that.
I think Jordan Lyles is due to get blown up, man.
Ooh, okay. Now we're talking. Now it's a Yankees show. Let's go. Get rocked, Jordan Lyles.
I mean, his last start, he threw the 4-seam fastball. And against the Yankees, he didn't. Against the Yankees, he was slider heavy. But his peripherals are awful.
Oh, they are.
Like, awful.
That's
And in a year where everyone is abandoning the 4-seam fastball because if you don't have movement, it's dropped a ton from last year, from 40% to 25%, but it's still his most used pitch. He's had 2 good starts in a row, like you said, but it doesn't look sustainable right now. So hopefully the Yankees, and I like Higgy's swing versus a 4-seam fastball, so I'd play Higgy.
David Cohn would call this baseball savant an Eiffel 65 baseball savant.
A what?
Eiffel 65.
What's that mean?
I'm blue. Dabba-dee, dabba-da.
Oh, wow. That's good
There's
stuff.
a lot of blue on that page.
No, yeah, it's not a good baseball savant page, so hopefully the Yankees get to him today.
I have a blue house with a blue window.
Bum 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 bum.
On the Tilo note from before, with no Hicks this series, or at least there's probably going to be a Tilo center field day one of the next 2 days. Don't know how that should play into our calculus for anything.
Win the first 2 and get funky. Put Tilo in center, Andujar in left.
We still haven't gotten consecutive
Don't
Judge
do
center
that.
field
Don't do
days,
that. Do
right?
one of them, but win the first 2 first.
Still haven't gotten consecutive Judge center field days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like I think tomorrow is a good shot to be a Tilo start day.
Could see that.
Judge hasn't gotten another DH day either, or off day, right?
I think just that one in Baltimore, right?
Just the one.
And he hasn't DH yet. I have Sunday, or not Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday being like that day game after night might be Judge DH day.
Day game after night, getaway day. So that Thursday game.
Let's not sit him versus Baltimore, but that Thursday game, maybe it's a Judge DH day, and that's when
I
you
can be
use.
talked
That's
into
when
that.
you use.
That's the progression.
Use
That's
Tilo in center that day.
First two, do
Judge to
whatever.
center, Judge to right, Judge DH, Stanton plays right.
All right.
Okay.
We'll be live on the pregame show later today to see if we are correct or wrong or what about it. Is that a sneeze?
No, I think I saw the same thing you just saw.
What are you guys saying?
No, it's not mean. No. All right.
Okay.
We'll see you guys at the pregame show.
See you guys. Go Yanks. Tell them, Grams.
Go Yankees.